What's up, guys? SeaOtterGamer here, and today I thought we would do something a little bit different. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the changes that have been happening to Realm of the Mad God. The goods, the bads, the uglies, and the beautiful, I guess. Maybe not so much the last one. But as you may or may not know, we haven't really been getting steady updates for a while. It's been probably about 8 months since we've had a substantial update to Realm of the Mad God. Now, that chain was broken on August 5th when 27.4 came out. And what 27.4 added were volume sliders for the music and sound effects, the ability to buy more than one item at a time in one purchase from the Nexus, and they added a particle effects option in the graphics menu to reduce the particles and help with performance. And along with that, they had some bug fixes. They fixed a bug where the backpacks can now use all of their free space, and the server list they sorted by name, which really isn't a bug fix. But anyways, so that was actually pretty nice. I mean, they added a lot of stuff that I feel like we've been asking for a while, especially the particle effects, and to a lesser degree, the volume sliders as well. Maybe not so much the ability to buy more than one item from the Nexus, but I digress. So that was huge because we hadn't gotten an update in like 8 months. The last update was, let's see, 129, and it was a small migration issue fix and a security update. So, but since then, we got on August 5th, 27.4. Now, that was on a Wednesday. The next Wednesday, which was August 12th, we got another update. We got 27.5, which added right-click on chat bubbles, now displays the player menu. Minimap rotation, where a new option to enable minimap rotation on player camera rotation. Can toggle it by clicking on your minimap or in the options menu. And then they also had a solstice set. They made that no longer soulbound. And then a few bug fixes. The low particle effects that they added in 27.4, they changed the throw animation timing. There was some issues with that. And then they fixed an issue with the beginners package as well. So another fairly substantial update. I actually really like the minimap rotation, even though there's some issues with it. As far as when you click on the map in order to teleport to people, it would change your settings, and I think they might have fixed that. I'm not sure because I don't really teleport to people as much now. And then the just the rotation itself. And there were some issues with whether or not your character was centered on the map and some bugs with that. And I believe that if the map itself is too big, then you won't be centered. But if it's a smaller map, then you will be. I might have that backwards, I don't remember. But I really like it because it reminds me of how I set up my map in Counter-Strike Global Offensive. I really like the rotation because I can always kind of see what's in front of me. So that was a pretty big update. Then a week later, on August 19th, they released 27.6. What they added, mystery boxes can now be purchased in ×5 or ×10. They added an HP bar display option, which is amazing, especially if you're the priest, because then you know when to heal people. It also affects monsters, so you can see if you're about to kill it. And then, of course, it affects yourself, where you can see if you're about to die without having to look over to the side. So that's big as well. I really like that update. And then they took out the Sword of Illumination and the Bow of the Morning Star, which were the reskinned D-Blade and D-Bow. So those are gone if you didn't get one like me. I didn't get one, then you're kind of out of luck unless you trade for one. And then they improved the minimap rotation where it can be turned off permanently as well. So they added that switch as well. So here is the good news, guys. I know we give Kabam a lot of crap, and a lot of it's probably rightly deserved. But at the same time, it looks like we now have at least somewhat a regular development staff. I don't know if it's RF Switch or if it's Nullbot or maybe both of them, not quite sure. But there are improvements being made to the game. So that is a huge, huge plus. I mean, a lot of people were talking about how this game is dead and nobody plays it and there's no updates and it's just going to slowly die off. But now we have updates and hopefully that won't be true. I mean, we are still losing people, but I feel like there's more stuff to look forward to coming up. So the good thing is now we have a development. As far as I know, we're getting developments, right? And they are pretty substantial. It seems like, to me, they are listening to what the community wants and is saying, and is trying to implement that into the game. So I know, for instance, people are asking about HP bars and minimap rotation, and also the sliders for the sound effects and the volume slider for the music, and also for the particle effects option. People are saying if we didn't have 100 million people shooting at the same time, we could probably get better performance, and that's true. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite work well with bombs, and I think they're getting that sorted out. But, however, there was one update, and that is going to be the main focus for today. So we talked about the previous updates in this past month, and going about on that trend, we should be getting the next one on August 26th, which is when this video should be going out, Wednesday, August 26th. And so I'm excited to see if that trend continues and what they'll be adding. So I'm hoping they do. But on the 20th, we got a new a new something from Nullbot here. I'm going to read it in its entirety, and then we are going to talk about it. So Nullbot said, "Hello, Realmers. Today we rolled out a controversial game change. I will get straight to it. On most servers, you will now be unable to teleport to any non-guild member for the first 3 minutes you are in the realm. This is pretty clearly a change to combat event notifiers. This is the first step in a process to achieve this goal. We will take feedback, make changes, and move forward. We are committed to this endeavor, and we know players may not like the new restrictions. We will tune and tweak, but we feel this is what is best for the game. The truth is, in order to fix this issue, we are going to have to make unpopular changes. It is also worth noting that any guild found with an event notifier bots will be punished heavily. We do not recommend this. Don't get your guild banned. Currently, the following servers have this change: Asia East, Asia Southeast, EU East, EU North, EU South, EU Southwest, EU West, US East, US East 2, US Midwest, US Northwest, US South, US South 2, US Southwest, US West, and US West 2. Thank you, Nullbot. All right, so quite the controversial game change indeed. Let's talk a little bit about event notifiers. So event notifiers is a hack, it's an exploit where it'll teleport you right to an event when it spawns in a realm, and so you can get there before anyone, get your damage off, and get the rewards for that. Now that sounds awful, and is very awful. And so in order to combat that, they decided to make it so you can't teleport for 3 minutes after you go in a realm. Now, that means when you're going from the Nexus to the realm, that also means if you go into a dungeon, let's say like a Sprite World, and then you come out, that 3 minutes will reset. Now, you can still teleport to guild members. So if you have a guild member somewhere in the Godlands, let's say, you will be able to teleport to them. So that's good. But unfortunately, not everyone has a guild, and not everyone has a big guild or an active guild. So that's somewhat useless to some people. At first, it seems like a great change because it's incentivizing people to play together. This is a massive multiplayer online experience. We should be playing together. We should be joining guilds and making friends. So it really is trying to push that aspect of the game, which is something that I agree with and I like there's a way around it. I also like that they say that any guild using event notifiers in order to have everyone teleport there will be banned. Unfortunately, with the way that banning has gone in the past, they don't seem to be very on top of the ball. So I'm not quite sure if there's any weight behind that sentence, right? Because if they weren't banning people before, then people are going to be like, well, they're not going to catch us and ban us now, so we might as well just keep doing it. And that's what I think. Or maybe it will have an effect. I don't know. I guess we're going to have to wait and see. And a lot of this is wait and see, right? Speaking of waiting, you don't have to wait 3 minutes when you get into a realm before you can teleport to anybody who isn't in your guild, right? So that has significantly increased, let's say, the amount of time that it takes for you to farm potions. Because before, what I would like to do is go into a realm, find somebody, teleport into the Godlands, and do some Godland stuff, maybe do some dungeons. And if I get something good, I would teleport back to the Nexus, drop it off into my chest, and then I would go back and redo it. But now, if I get something good, I'll have to wait 3 minutes, because teleporting back to the Nexus and going back, then I have to wait a full 3 minutes before I can start farming again. Which doesn't seem like a lot, but in a game that's itself not very fast-paced, you want to get right back into the action. So your two choices are, well, let's say 3 choices, really. One is to wait 3 minutes and then teleport, which is not very popular. 2 is to become part of a guild and then work together if you can and teleport, which is a great option as well. And 3 is to walk back to the Godlands. Maybe if you're a warrior or something, you can pop your helmet and go a little bit faster, but it'll still probably take you at least 3 minutes to get there, so that doesn't really cut it. So, now on to the bad news becoming worse news. There have been talks about people with evidence that people with event notifiers have found a way around this 3 minute block, let's say. So what that means is people who are playing the way it should be played, not hacking, now have to wait 3 minutes. People with exploits now don't have to wait 3 minutes. And so it's even worse than before, because now there's people teleporting to event notifiers, and the people who are in there just starting off doing it the right way can't even teleport to those players or teleport in general. And so the only people getting them are the people that know the exploit. Now, I'm not saying go out and figure that out. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that this seems like a really good idea. I like the direction they're going with it, but they need to keep on top of the ball with the exploits, because how it works, and this is how it's been in Counter-Strike for forever, is someone finds out how to hack something, and then Valve says, oh, we don't like that. Here's a change to stop that hack. And then the hacker's like, okay, I see your change. Here's a way for me to undo that change and keep doing what I want to do. And it seems like that is what is going on in Realm right now, which is really sad. But my thing is, if Kabam's really on top of the ball, they'll keep coming out with different patches and hopefully get rid of this problem, maybe at the source, or just with the way they code it. Maybe they'll have to recode some stuff or add changes like this one. And it sounds like they're looking at other changes, because Nullbot says, the truth is, in order to fix this issue, we are going to have to make unpopular changes. So it sounds like they have other changes that they are currently looking at as well. So I think this is a great step in the right direction. I think that this isn't the final answer. I think that we need to find another solution. I think this one works well, and maybe if we make it 2 minutes or, a minute and a half or something, that would be better. And they were talking about tweaking the amount of time as well and getting feedback. So if you want to, give them feedback, help them, help us, help them, help us, right? And I think, like I said, I think it's great that 1, they are still updating the game, and 2, that they're trying out new things. And I think, like I said, this is a step in the right direction, but I think we need something just a little bit more. So one last point about the teleporting restrictions, and that is that if you look at the servers and find a pattern, it's that the 1 and the 2 servers have this restriction, but the 3 servers do not. I've actually been playing on US West 3 or US East 3 lately because I didn't want this 3-minute restriction. I tried it, it wasn't for me. So if you don't want to wait, then look at this server list and find a server that is not on this list and try that one out. Like I said, I've been using US East 3 or US West 3. So that's kind of way around it now. Now, on top of that, maybe it's time for us to make a guild together. I've been thinking about it for a little while. If that is something you guys are interested in, let me know. I'm trying to gauge if that would be something you guys are interested in. Right now, I'm in one with another YouTuber and a few of you guys. But we could expand that. We could get more people. And then we can all play together and defeat this 3-minute timer. So that is all I have to say. I look forward to the future changes that Kabam, Nullbot, and RF Switch are putting on in this game. And thank you guys very much for listening to my 16.5 minutes of incessant rambling. I'd love to hear what you guys think about these changes. Are they good? Are they bad? Do you have any way to make them better? Please leave me a comment down below. And with that, I will see you guys in the next episode.